Hello, everyone. It's now 2:27 p.m. in the afternoon. Um, excuse me. I should be taking a nap, but my anxiety is so high right now. You know, but I'm. Wait, do I hear sirens? But I don't know where to start. So I stayed later, trying to raise funds for a hotel or whatever. I had help with $10, and I didn't use it for dinner last night. I didn't even eat dinner last night. But I had breakfast and lunch today. So, last night I was so tired that after our live stream, usually I don't get sleep sitting on a bench, but or like maybe a few times, like not many, but wow, my foot is itching. It's itching so bad that I cannot ignore the itch. So, oh wow. Hold up. So, after the live stream, I dozed off, which was rare for me to do when I'm sitting on the bench and gotta be on the streets. So, thanks for the super chats. That was like, I think it was $20-something for the super chats. But I got $10 out of the CashApp last night. And I was trying to get $400 total. It could have been the CashApp, PayPal, or Venmo. And but unfortunately, I couldn't get the help. So I didn't eat dinner last night. So therefore, because I was trying to have some hope that somebody would understand my situation and come through and help me with the understand that I have to prepare to for court and stuff. But they figured that, oh, you a bad person, you're guilty of crimes, and you don't deserve any help from me. When they don't even know what crimes I was falsely accused of, or they don't know anything. So, but, hold up. But, so yeah, I unexpectedly, last I checked the time, it said 12:49 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't even realize that I had dozed off and fell asleep. And these ants. Well, let me get away from here. Hold up. It's extremely hot out here today. But I did not realize that I dozed off and fell asleep. And I don't know if the perps deliberately hit me with directed energy weapons or something to make me fall asleep so that they can steal my bag. So, I feel like, would it be I think if it was a random homeless perp druggie that stole my bag, then that would have been a damn coincidence that it so happens to be in the middle of the night between the day that I wrote that blog post yesterday and between the day that I wrote the blog post yesterday and today being court date for someone to steal my bag. And I don't have anything, for my bag to be stolen, and if you're a crackhead or some kind of druggie, I didn't have any items worth selling, nothing was any items. Y'all selling dirty clothes for crack? I don't know. So you're selling other people's high school diplomas and college degree paperwork or court papers for crack? You're selling birth certificates for crack? I don't know what the hell is going on. But all I know is my stuff got stolen, but I think that either the perps themselves from the fake sticky TT6 perp himself, or he either stole my bag or sent someone to steal my bag, or fake Damnesia must have sent someone to steal my bag, or somebody sent someone to steal my bag, and they stole that bag and not my smaller bag. Thankfully, I have my phone and my charger and my wallet. Thankfully, that wasn't stolen. So I need to get my birth certificate replaced. So all the important files that I had with my targeting proof and evidence and certain other important information gone, and I'll never get to see it again. So my phone battery was I think 7% by the time I woke up around 3 something this morning. I think it was before 3:15. And I walked down Canal Street and could not film or record, so I just tried to take whatever pictures that I could. I tried to go to that IHOP and eat, charge my phone, use the bathroom, do whatever I needed. And the ghetto perp employee, but she was sitting outside and probably smoking a cigarette, I think. And she gave me like a dirty look and didn't act like she didn't want to go inside and serve me. But she was a black female, but they had 2 white men that she was glad to serve them and was checking up on them. But when it came to me, she didn't want to serve me. She acted like she didn't want to serve me, or she acted like I was a problem. And keep in mind, all I had was that the smaller bag, not the big orange bag, but the smaller bag. I had just got that backpack, y'all. That backpack was new. I just got that backpack. And so she was rude to me and acting like she tried to give herself a reason for me to get frustrated and say, you know what, I don't even worry about it. I got frustrated and got out and left. Then I got on a streetcar, and I guess the streetcar ride was okay. But then when I rode the they had a homeless female perp when I was standing at the streetcar stop, and she coughed in my face. She coughed in my face. And she coughed in my face, and then when I got offended, she looked at me. She gave me this look like something's terribly wrong for me to get offended. So, but anyway, the streetcar ride was okay. And then I got on the Jackson Esplanade bus, and the bus driver, when I tried to ask him if he can let me know, I was trying to go to Delgado campus to see if I can charge my phone over there. And the campus police officer, I was waiting on the building to open because they said it was open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. or something like that. And so I waited around for 6 a.m. and like around 5:51, 5:52, 5:53, somewhere around there, my phone battery had died completely. I was fighting all night trying to get help with hotel, and usually I do not let my phone battery die. I try my best to not let it get low when I got to be on the streets. So then the bus driver, he was rude to me when I tried to ask him to take me, by the campus. And he tried to take me by where the cemeteries were. He tried to take me by the bus stop by the cemetery. And then he got an attitude with me and lied and said that the bus would not, that he doesn't have another bus stop until he gets to Orleans Avenue. And he's like, don't you take this bus? I'm like, well, I know that they have more stops than from St. Louis Street or whatever, all the way to Orleans Avenue. So he's like, haven't you taken this bus before or whatever? I'm like, yeah, I know you took this bus before. So he was trying to play sight games, gaslight, get an attitude, this, that, whatever, And then they had a male passenger that was at the very back of the bus. Me and that guy were the only two on the bus, and he had just got on the bus, like a stop before I got off, I think. And so when I asked the bus driver, why you being rude to me? Why and the guy that was the bus driver was the chief narc, while the passenger acted like a fake clown flying monkey and was rude and yelling at me and said, get off here, get off here, people gotta go to work. Hurry up, get off here, people gotta go to work. And, me and him got into an argument, and he triggered my Tourette's for me to cuss him from A to Z. And then I know they're two men, but I know that when I got off the bus, they gossip like hoes. They gossip like bitches. They did. And like, you two guys bullying and ganging up on one disabled female for no reason. And then you gossip like hoes, whores. So then, so after that, when it was like a few minutes after 6 o'clock, I tried to, they had this police officer that had a personalized license plate in a Cadillac. And I asked him, if it's possible if I could, charge my phone. And he said that the buildings didn't open until 8 o'clock, and that he couldn't let me in after. He said, well, I can't let you in after 6:30. He said, I can't let you stay there after 6:30. And I'm like, well, can I go now and maybe just charge it for 30 minutes? And he said, no, I can't let you at all until after 8 o'clock. And then next thing you know, he pulled out a gun. And hold on, wait. And he was a black man too. And I said, wait a minute, like, he pulled out a gun and then casually put it on his side. Like, when he grabbed the gun, I'm like, wait a minute, why you pulling the gun out on him? I was like, wait a minute, like, because he was rude and had an attitude too, and when I tried to explain to him about my phone and my situation and my stuff got stolen, and it's like, well, man, that's not my problem or whatever, you know. He was rude and an asshole too, you know, but I didn't get into an argument with him. I didn't yell back or nothing. But he was rude to me and told me that, you know, my phone being dead and my stuff being stolen. He said, well, man, that's not my problem. And then he got a gun.
Where you going?
They got a whole set of doors behind over there, and they come by me. But yeah, and he shook his head. The Asian guy, he with the two kids, he shook his head at me. He shook his head like I'm the crazy one. But like, you come from right there, and they got doors right there. But then you have you and your kids to come cross by me and go through that way. You know. So yeah, you're teaching your kids to purpose. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. So anyway, he did that on purpose to try to distract my story and distract my me telling y'all what happened. So then, you know, the bus driver, the police officer, when he grabbed the gun, and I said, wait a minute, because I said, I know I'm not a student here, and, you know, my phone battery died, and I was trying to see if I could charge my phone. He's like, whoa, well, we can't let you in until, we can't let you in after 6:30 in the morning, you know. And then I said, well, can I go before, like, just 30 minutes just to charge my phone or whatever? And he said, ma'am, well, that's not my problem. When I told him about my phone battery being dead and everything, he said, ma'am, that's not my problem, whatever. And so he grabbed a gun. And I said, wait a minute, why you pulling a gun out on me? It was a small gun. I said, why you pulling a gun out on me? And he had like a deceitful looking smile on his face and said, oh man, I didn't mean to scare you. He said, I had the gun in the back seat, and if I keep the gun in the back seat, it will mess the seats up, or something like that, he said. And I was really confused, but I walked off angry. So the other bus, the veterans bus I was supposed to take, I was a few steps too late, I guess. I had just missed that bus, so I had to wait for another bus. And when I tried to explain to the bus driver, I said, sir, excuse me, I have my bus pass. That's the I have my bus pass, but I said I have my disabled bus pass, but my phone battery died completely. And so he got an attitude and said, so what? That's not my problem. And then me and him got into, he said, so what? That's not my problem. They got a plug down there. And he lied and said that they had the plug outside by where the bus shelter is, like the little seating area with the bus stop where you wait for the bus. So he started playing sight games with an attitude. Me and him got into an argument, and I almost broke down and cried. And then he falsely accused me of being full of drama and, excuse me. And he tried to say I was projecting my problems onto him and this and that. I'm like, but you had the attitude first. But he tried to make it like I was the one who came at him with an attitude when I did not. I just, tried to explain something to him, and he was like a total asshole jerk and said, "Oh, you holding up the bus and this and that, whatever." And he was just rude and nasty towards me. And then afterwards, he made it like as if he was just joking the whole time. And then he tried to talk religious or whatever. And then try to make friends or whatever, But then, I guess, we made a truce. But anyway, so I'm not going to be too detailed. I'll just say someone gave me a ride to and from the court. And I'll just tell y'all what happened at court, okay? And I'm not going to really... She might not want me to tell, like, what else occurred or what else happened. So I'll just say someone took me to and from court. And I'll tell y'all what happened at the court. And I'm not going to tell, like, every minute little detail, but I'll just tell y'all, I guess you could say, an overview or whatever, So anyway, wait, hold up. So she, I mean, when I walked in the, I went to go get my stuff through the security with the police. The police do the security at the court, and the police, the officers or guards or whatever, they were rude to me. It was two white men that were abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean, and difficult to communicate with. But then, I'm sorry for all the I'm sorry for all the noise or whatever. But yeah, people are leaving. They had a meeting or something in there. So then, they were kind of rude and mean. Except the black man. The black man was the nice one, But the two white men, they weren't nice, But anyway, I'm saying, my anxiety is really high. But anyway, we had to sit in this little waiting area for a while, and they had a court hearing going on, and we had to wait a while for that. And then, eventually, my turn came up, and once I was at the court, once after they started, where everything came quickly. After that court hearing and everything went quickly. It was other people's court hearing, not mine. But so I was taken into this room by myself, and it was like as if it was a court on TV, And they put me in this room and had me sit down, and I dealt with the prosecutor through this TV, not the female court judge. But it was a male prosecutor. I don't recall him introducing himself or telling me what his name was. Maybe he did and I didn't remember. But as far as I know, he didn't tell me. He didn't introduce himself or tell me what his name was. But he did say he was a prosecutor. He didn't say he was the judge, but he said he was a prosecutor. It was a black man. And he told me that my criminal charge, now, the other criminal charges, they were saying failure to identify, and that's what's on the police report. I mean on the jail records. The stalkers, they stole that paperwork. But on that paperwork, it said failure to identify. Because at first they were trying to say criminal mischief, resisting arrest, and failure to identify. And so I thought I was going to court for a quote-unquote failure to identify. So then, when I went there, he said that I was found guilty of, resisting arrest. And the failure to identify and all that, he didn't say that. He was just saying that I'm guilty, that I'm found guilty. This is from the May 9th arrest when I was at the Metairie Library and it was raining. And I was trying to get help out of the rain. In January, I was trying to get help out of the cold. But this was from the May 9th arrest. And the arrest with the situation with a camo jacket. And so, yeah, it went over my head because I was planning on getting rid of the jacket because the weather started warming up. But I forgot that I even had the jacket. So when the officer said, have you seen someone with a camo jacket? And I'm like, no, because I knew I wasn't wearing it. but I didn't. It didn't register in my head that, oh, that's described as camo or camouflage. So like he rough-handled and put me in handcuffs and said I was resisting arrest. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, I don't know if y'all saw the live stream or whatever. And Hartley, his fake damnesia sabotaged the chat and made it where nobody could really chat when I had to redo another chat multiple times. And so, yeah, the fake prosecutor said it was that I was charged with resisting arrest. And he was very mean. He was not nice. I asked him, could I explain myself? He told me no, I could not. And then he tried to make like I have to have a public defender and that I don't have a choice. And that if I try to take this to trial, he said that was considered a pre-trial today. And he said if I take it to trial or if I try to fight this myself, then I'm going to be in big trouble. Or that I'm not going to win or I'm going to be in big trouble or whatever, you know. So I'm like, so you're forcing me to get a public defender? And he's like, oh, no one's forcing you to do anything. So, you know, and so he didn't want to hear my situation. He didn't want to hear anything I had to say. I didn't see the judge at all. And he tried to play judge. He tried to play the judge role, the role of judge. So he had his face twisted up mad and talking about that I had a bunch of convictions on my record. And I'm like he said, yeah, criminal mischief. He was trying to say criminal mischief, and, you know, resisting arrest, failure to identify. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought the fake criminal charge from you know, last year, in February of last year, the fake public offender told me that those charges were dropped. You know, so, but the prosecutor today, he said that that for this situation, if I'm convicted, that he said that I will not, like, I don't know where he get that from. I was not convicted. But the fake public offender said that the case from January, that he said that it's off my record and that it's clean. That my record was clean. So now this guy is saying that I got convictions on my record, that I got a lot of convictions on my record. And he treated, and I'm telling y'all, I'm not over exaggerating. He treated me like as if I murdered someone. He treated me with such meanness. Like as if I murdered a freaking, he treated me like I murdered a freaking newborn baby or an old lady or something. You know, I'm like, I can't believe this. Is this supposed to be minor? Why am I like they're trying to scare, bully, and intimidate me and act like I committed such big crime or whatever. Now I'm so guilty of such big crime. And he tried to make like you're found guilty and that there's no way around it. You know, and then, but he told me that after all is said and done, that I'm not going to go back to jail, that I'm not going to go to jail, but that I would just have to have fines and fees to pay, you know, which I'm too poor for that. And so he forcing me to have a public defender. Hi. And so then the ladies nicely convinced me when I went to make the appointment that I should get a public defender and pay $40. And and I'm like, no, I don't trust having a public defender because the other public defender I had, I don't want one. And, you know, I was trying as best as I could, despite what I went through. It was very hard it was very hard trying to stay calm. And you know, I did get a little hyped up and like a little, you know, a little agitated, you know. You know, but so like the way that fake prosecutor treated me was, and I walked off and I said, like, it was after I was walking into the other room and I said to myself, and this is why you bastards get cussed the fuck out. That's why, like, you do stuff to trigger and upset people and make them have to cuss you out. Or make them, push me over to the edge when I got no choice but to cuss you out. And you're triggering my Tourette's. But I ain't cussing nobody out. But, yeah. But on the bus this morning, I cried. I ended up crying about the bag being stolen and being scared I'm going to go to jail. Back to jail and do time in jail. But anyway, I had IHOP for lunch. And I was treated to IHOP for lunch and at a different location. And a little bit light shopping, very light shopping, and so someone they gave me a ride to court and gave me change of clothes. I got this other dress here, and so I got a little bit more other stuff, but like as I said this morning, I was so upset that, I said, I don't want anything anymore. I don't want nothing no more. That's how mad I was. I said, I don't want nothing anymore. But it was a temporary upset feeling. I just felt like, okay, I give up. But the stalking cult criminals were hoping that they could steal my bag so that I would not have evidence, so that I could be wrongfully thrown in jail. No matter what. They were trying any and everything to make sure I'm fake guilty. And then, so, yeah, I told them I didn't have the money today. But, yeah, and I heard that they make a fake case to say everyone is guilty just for money. Just to try to get money, out of the poor. And so, excuse me, but I guess I have like 78 cents in cash and 51 cents in the bank, and I don't have. Oh wait, I just have a can of pineapples. I got a can of pineapples, but I'm trying to get help with dinner and more hotel nights. I have not got to have a shower since last Monday. I smell bad. I stink, and I had to go to court 7 days dirty. So yeah, I need help with hotel nights and the laundry. I need to wash the other set of clothes, and the boil under my arm had popped. It popped and I guess drained out. I need a shower. I'm dirty. I need rest. I told y'all last night that they were planning something, but I thought they were planning another illegal swatting or something. I was not expecting them for them to steal my backpack. I was not expecting for them to steal my backpack. I almost did have a total breakdown this morning, and I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. Don't I have a right to be tired? So, I feel like I don't want nothing no more. But, I mean, like as far as so-called, possessions. I'm tired, but I need freaking rest. And I can't carry around a lot being homeless, But I need the things that I need. And, but I need help with dinner, and I need help with more hotel nights, and I need prayers, and I'm gonna need help for today and tomorrow, and supposedly I'm expecting to get paid on Wednesday with the Social Security check, and I don't know what the outcome will be October 8th. I was shocked to find out what I found out today. So the Jefferson Parish system is just as crooked like Gretna. But I love y'all. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to see what rest I can get. and then try to come back on and live stream for help later. Let's see, what time is it? 3:01. I'm gonna try to come back in like 2.5 hours. I love y'all.